It's Carla with the K time. My first Hangcon 2024.
I'm really hoping that you can see this gentle, maybe you can see the snowflakes, the gentle snowfall. I'm going to switch the camera around. Oh, yeah, look at that shot. I am about to leave Milwaukee to head down to Hangcon, but I have to tell you, as excited as I am about Florida weather in January rather than Wisconsin, I love this snow. I love winter. And oh, it's breaking my heart a little that we're going to be getting inches, many inches today of snow after we just got many inches of snow. Ah, all right, Wisconsin, enjoy the snow. Maybe I'll bring back more from Florida. So pretty. All right, I'm just waiting for my friend to pick me up, take me to the airport, but I thought I'd show you what I am bringing to Hangcon. I am a serious overpacker. So I still overpacked, I know it. This is my tarp, my top quilt, my hammock, my suspension, everything in there. That's a carry-on. That is all my food, all my toiletries. That's my carry-on. So I know I can survive just there. Then luxury, I am bringing my Yobo hive stand, which will be checked. And then that is clothing, cook system, bug spray. You know, like I don't know if I need bug spray. All the other random stuff. So I'm flying Southwest, so I get to check 2 bags. And this is a thank you gift for my friend who's picking me up because he's got cats. I hope everything goes fine. I'm always a little worried. We'll see. Wish me luck. Hi, everybody. This is Carla with the K at Hammock Hang 2024. My bucket list. I'm so excited to be here. I wanted to give kind of like a first timer's guide and tour. So if you're like me, you didn't know what to expect. So let me show you around. All right, that's me where I'm set up. So that's going to be our point of reference. But I mean, this, can you see the cows? I mean, this is a cow pasture right there. We drive in here and you can see that people just start hanging wherever they want. And there's a huge circle. And over there's a primitive camp where you can like walk into it and it opens up to this huge, vast area. And I can't even like walk around to show you how much space there is. I don't quite understand. There's some places where you can park your car by your spot and other places where you can't. I haven't figured that out. Because there's like a car parking lot over there. And then this is like the main building. That's where the meals are served and where you can eat. And there's some vendors on this side, but most vendors are on the opposite side. And registration was right here. And then the vendors all set up in like a vendor area. Now, I had one of the vendors point out to me where the vendor area was, so I knew not to set up there. But I was able to find a set of trees for my friend who's going to be joining. And then I am in the process of setting up my hive, which did travel well. One of the top rail were kind of like stuck into each other. So my new neighbor friend Arthur, he helped me to unstick it. And the gal who picked me up from the airport, I placed a Walmart order, and so she picked up the Walmart order. I really didn't need to get water. I really just wanted a jug to carry water because we do meals on our own. So I like pop. That's my beer. So I just ordered a lot of pop and a dehydrated meal. We're supposed to get rain here tomorrow. So I'm going to make sure that I've got everything all battened down, getting prepared. That's how everybody else is. I can't wait to kind of go around and see the setups that everybody has. Everybody seems to be really friendly. There was an available optional lunch today to buy. I bought the $8 burger with chips and a drink, and that was tasty. And I forget what's on the menu because dinner starts tonight. So I am pretty geeked and excited. I really need a nap right now so I don't get hangry. So I'm gonna eat something and take a nap. Those are my priorities for today. So maybe I'll record more later. All right, bye. So this is where we eat when they call for dinner. They also had this sign up for text messages when you got here so you would know when meals were. However, I keep my phone on airplane mode, so I didn't know when that was. When I heard the group saying dinner tonight was gone within a half an hour, so you got to line up to get it. And then it took about another half an hour, and they did have some cobbler for dessert. What I did not know is that they actually have these buckets here of soapy water and rinse water. So you can like come and do your dishes. I've never seen this at a hang, and that's pretty amazing. And they'll like put hot water and like kind of keep refilling it. So yay. I wish I knew about this beforehand, and that's a great feature. Way to go, Hangcon. Good morning. Just spent my first night at Hangcon, which went really well. And then I've now realized that this was my total fault. So breakfast is served from 7 to 9. I set my alarm for 7. I made sure that when my phone was on airplane mode that I'd still receive the alarm. And Hangcon is set up where you can subscribe and get the text. So like when the breakfast is ready, you'll get a text. So while I was gathering my stuff that I had pre-set out, I got the text. So I went and I got there at 7:08, and I was putting together my plate, and all the food was gone by 7:08. 8 minutes. Their last call for coffee. I don't even drink coffee, but I took coffee. I was in such a foul mood because I'm like, I flew here. I have very limited food, and if every meal is going to be like this, I'm screwed. And I really had like a come apart. I don't know why I got so emotional and like I was crying about it. I think just fear of like flying down here and, you know, not packing, you know, your backups and your extra, and what do you do? And then I reached into the snacks, and I'm gonna flip the camera around so you can see this part. The nice Belvita crunchy. I mean, you know, through the airport, it mainly made it, so that's gonna be breakfast with the coffee. I realized that, you know, I'm from Wisconsin, which is on Central Time. So when it's 7 o'clock for me, it's really 8 o'clock for everybody else. And so by the time I got to breakfast, it wasn't 7:08, it was 8:08. Breakfast had been going on for an hour and 8 minutes, and no wonder there wasn't any left. I was in such a pissy mood. Yeah, and I was over an hour late for breakfast. Okay, so that's a good first timers. All right, so my suggestion, which I just did, I switched the phone to Eastern time zone. So tomorrow when the alarm goes off, it will be at breakfast time. I was so busy. People are like, "Good morning, Carl." I'm like, "It's not good. It's just morning." All right, I'm gonna go and eat my Belvita crunchy, that's extra crunchy. It's all smashed up. I'm gonna drink my coffee, and I'm just gonna go back to bed for a little bit. Lunches are on your own, and I have one of those dehydrated meals. It's got 2 servings, so I'm just gonna have an early lunch, and I'll probably eat it all. Don't worry about me, I won't die from starvation. Eastern time zone, suck it. I'm hungry. So I need to give you an update about the breakfast drama at Hangcon. So, first of all, anybody that I happened to tell that story to immediately said, "Are you hungry? Do you need food? I've got extra." I mean, the guys that I was camped around, Oz and Arthur, were immediately like, we can feed you. Bob and George were camped behind me. They were like, we can feed you. I walked my underground quilt, and they're like, we have extra, we can feed you. I mean, this is a hammock hang. I am so used to everybody having extras and are helpful. What I'm not good at is reaching out and asking for help. That whole need and desire to be self-sufficient was just in overdrive. So during lunch that day, I made a concerted effort to try and sit around people who I didn't know. And I told this story about how I yelled at the guy. I'm like, it's not a good morning, it's just morning. Turns out the guy who was sitting across, it was that guy. It was that guy. I was mortified. Oh my God. So, to the mayor, I am so sorry. You were on the receiving end of my morning wrath. Please forgive me. He was sitting across out of all the hundreds of people that were angry. He was that guy. Oh, please, Mayor, accept my apology. Good morning. Now that I've had my breakfast and I've settled down a little, I'm looking for showers because the first pot koozie class of the first class of the morning isn't until 10. So I'm going to do a shower, so I'm looking for the shower. So I give you a little bit more of a tour to help you get a little oriented. I don't know if you can see that purple. That's me over there. So that's where I took the video yesterday. So there's multiple loops. That is the big pavilion over there where we eat. So you're able to see more setups here. And the shower building is the building that's right over there. So this is another, I'm going to say it's almost like a figure 8 with the loops that are here. But the showers they're a trek. But I figured I'd show you. I've learned with the car situation, you're not supposed to have any cars in this main area, but some people have gotten some exceptions. So the text message last night from Hangcon that they send out, is telling people to move their cars. You can see there's lots of empty spaces, so tons of room for stands. But, trying to get those perfect trees, that's way too long there. But if you have a stand where you just need one tree, man, you've got a lot of options. They shut the building lights down at midnight, but there are some street lights that do not go off. So I was thankful that I had a sleep mask. That was very nice. And the earplugs. I didn't even hear people going to breakfast. That did not wake me up. So I'm gonna get the shower, and then I'm gonna hit some. I mean, I'm not gonna hit the vendors, but I'm gonna hit up the vendors. All right, more later. Yes.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
So
Somebody else just took a picture of it.
there's a little creek that runs through. I'll show you in a sec because here's the bridge. But I saw this sign that says danger alligators and snakes in the area, and I really didn't know. So Britt over here said, no, there's snakes, probably not alligators, but you never know. Thanks, Britt.
You're welcome.
So they're like, anytime you got children running around and there's potential. I mean, now that I'm here, I kind of want to see an alligator now. I mean, how cool would that be? But I don't actually want to see an alligator. And I hate snakes, so I really don't want to see a snake. But I kind of didn't know this ran through here. All right, so I'm almost over here to the showers. I guess there's also like restrooms. So there isn't just one place in the campground that you have to go for restrooms. I think someone said there's like 4 or 5 different locations. So that's actually pretty nice as well. Yeah, restroom, showers. I'll tell you how the showers are. I've heard that the water is scalding hot. So we'll see if I burn myself. All right, I haven't made it to the showers yet, but there's a hand wash area, which I think people would probably potentially use for dishes. I mean, if they're camped out here, lunches are on your own. I could see people just doing dishes. I don't know if you can see way over there. That's more of that primitive area where you can go way back in. You can't drive in. And if you see that red caution tape down there, that's another area. There's so much space, I've been told, back there. And wild oranges. So that's on my to-do list today. I guess wild oranges are a little soury. But I want to eat a wild orange. Like, that's on my Hangcon bucket list. So hopefully I'll make that happen later today. They have 7 showers. I had a really nice shower. There's 2 hooks, mats and mats. I found it very humid and steamy, so I even cracked the door when I just had a towel on and just let out some steam. I mean, I was the only one that was around here, so I wasn't going to be flashing me in a towel. Oh, I think maybe the rain is starting to pick up again. And my really inexpensive Ozark Trail poncho ripped. But one of the vendors gave me some packing tape, so hopefully that will hold. And I brought gaiters to put on my legs. I didn't bring any sort of Crocs or sandals. I see many other people in them. I really just thought I could have tennis shoes and maybe wet tennis shoes. So we will see if that's how it ends up, or maybe I'll be mad at myself. But I met this guy last night, so I'm gonna see his setup. And oh, a smoker. All right, catch you later. So this is the vendor row here at Hangcon. I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. So this is the big pavilion. I'm on the opposite side from where I've been. And you'll start to see vendors that are set up here. This is where the vendors actually camp at. So you can't camp here. And then you just have this whole entire section of vendors and vendors and vendors and vendors and vendors, and it kind of just loops around. So there are a couple who are on that opposite side of the pavilion. Underground Quilts is over there. There's a bike something. Got to check that out. And so I'm going to swing you around here because I personally am a little interested in how Dutchware set up their booth, because they've got a hive stand right here. They've actually got another hive stand back there. And what they've done is, if you look here, I'm going to get really close. They've used bolts through the hive and then PVC, and then they just used, oh, it's not even just an L, just a connector on the top. And that's how they hooked up over here. This is actually a different setup than yesterday. right?
Yeah, would that be on?
Because, yeah, you guys had another... Oh, you've been creative. And so they've got a lot of their stuff to be able to sell, a lot of their stuff to be able to see. And, oh, I wish I would have taken the video yesterday when they had it set up. Oh, I can't even explain it. They had like another PVC off of the hive to give it even more space. But, oh, here it is. Here it is. They just kind of switched. So here's where they took PVC to actually move it out more. And this tarp that they have, it's got to be like the largest tarp I've like ever seen in my life. It's so freakishly huge and big, but I mean, for a big hammock company, I guess you'd expect that. So I'm gonna actually go and start talking and meeting some of the vendors. Speaking of Dutch, there he is, bright red pants. And I'm gonna go maybe buy some stuff, see some stuff, I don't know, make some new friends. So we are under the pavilion right now, and that guy, Trevor from Hang High Hammocks, is conducting a splicing class. So he provided materials and some printout and some cordage. And so people are here coming and learning how to splice. And I know that there are some people who just are hammock camping for the first time. There are some people who are tenting, and so this is all brand new and new to them. And I didn't realize that there were these classes like this throughout the day. And so it's really kind of cool that you can choose to participate. You don't have to, but I think it's neat that they do these kind of things. So if you are a first timer at Hangcon, check out the schedule and see what you might want to attend. I know I've got some tomorrow that I'm really excited about. So, the pavilion is to my back.
I couldn't tell you if I wasn't with it.
The pavilion's to my back, and this is now grown. Last night it was 3 fires, but people just kind of congregate over here. We got Sugarland moonshines. I think are they doing samples again tonight?
Yeah.
Yep, they're doing samples again tonight. And so people just kind of congregate around here. And I'm going to flip you around. I'm going to turn this. And you can see the pavilion. Oh, this is my new friend Max that I just he's from Florida. He's a Floridian. People playing cornhole, and I'm just sitting around the fire and making some new friends. Good morning. It's Saturday of Hangcon. I don't even know what is it, day 3 technically. I'm going to show you the gear trade swap, how that works. I am in the pavilion, and we've got people who've set stuff here, and then we've got tables. So when you get up to the table, you're gonna find there are these tags that people have filled out, and it'll say what it is, description, the price, and then it has a phone number. And like I bought something and the guy came up to the table. I was able to give cash, but a lot of places are Venmo. And you keep coming back throughout the weekend, because as more people arrive and they get more stuff, you are able to, I mean, it's like continuous shopping that's going on. There's actually Tato stands over there. We've got underquilts, top quilts. I mean, if you really wanted to be able to come and get discounted gear, like, you want to shop at this table. It's pretty amazing. I am getting ready to participate in a knot demonstration, so I'm gonna go grab my cordage. So this is one of the tent style stingrays. There are some kids who are playing on it right now. But the cool thing is they're kind of set up over the creek, so they've got to use the ladder to get up. And Then there's the second ladder, which this kid's using, and they're able to get into that top area. And so that's just kind of a fun setup for the kids to be able to like romp around. And I know I wouldn't be able to sleep in that, but is it fun to play in? Yeah? So we're in the pavilion Saturday night, and they just sent out the text for dinner, so you can see that the dinner line has already started. And the thing with meals that I have learned from years past that they've said is that you need to be in line, and the food runs out when the food runs out. So usually they serve and have enough food for everyone for first, and that takes about a half an hour. So you gotta like be here in line ready to go, or you will not get food because they will run out. Sometimes they might be able to say that there's a little bit of seconds, but don't count on it. So I'm getting in line. I want to talk about the food at Hangcon because I had heard prior to going that the food wasn't very good and the food runs out. And on the aspect of quality of food, 180 opposite. I was so thoroughly impressed with the food. I consider myself a very bland kind of eater, and was fearful of like trying new things, southern things that might be hotter. No, all of the food was flavorful and great, not too hot for me. Somewhere a little spicy. That's okay. The only thing that I didn't eat, which I'm completely fine with, were grits. I don't normally eat grits. I'm not sure I've ever had grits. The flavor of the grits were cheesy, being from Wisconsin was good, were bacony, that I run Bacon Fest Hang, great, but they were gritty, which I've now come to learn that there are coarse grits and fine grits, and I should probably just try fine grits. So to me, that is like null and void, like it doesn't even matter. On the aspect that they run out, from someone who runs a hang, I am still flabbergasted that they actually feed people when there's like over 500 people in attendance. And food is a huge variable. You can never please everybody. It costs so much to feed people. If I was running Hangcon, I wouldn't have food. I might have food trucks. I would say do it on your own. I would never even dream about feeding 500 to 700 people. I think it's not only acceptable, but the way it should be, that you run out of food. You don't want to have extra food. I think some people would say the portions are small. I would say the portions are appropriate because we all overeat. So somewhere between like not a senior size, but like an appropriate size. After eating my meals, I wasn't hungry. But like soup for dinner, they're not also going to give you like crackers and cheese. So knowing ahead of time what's going to be served, if there's some of those accoutrement extras that you want, like bring them, eat them, bring an extra baguette to munch on. There wasn't anything that I think I would change about how they do meals. And knowing that they get negative feedback about meals, if you have the opposite experience like me and you love the meals, then please let them know about it, because gosh, that's a lot of effort to feed that many people. I mean, I would not be providing dessert, much less 1, 2, or 3 different flavors of cobbler. I'd be like, here's your one flavor tonight. You can get a different one tomorrow. I mean, the more people you feed, the simpler you want to make meals. And they weren't making simple meals. I mean, it was above and beyond what I would do. And I just think that's really amazing. So if you've only heard bad or negative things, please let me be the one that you've heard really, really good things, and that they should plan to run out of food. That's how it should be. But anybody that's in line will get firsts. That's also something that they, I don't want to say pride themselves on, but like expect. But that's why when you go through the line, you get one scoop of whatever. And if they have extra, then you can go back for seconds. I was just dumbfounded with how well run and organized meals were. So so that's it. Good job, guys. And gal, good job, Hangcon staff.
1, 2.
They're just starting the raffle right now, but I wanted to show you how many people are here for the raffle.
9521 blue. Got a winner? All right, good deal. All right, next one. Steve Shore.
And yeah, that's
Steve
Phoenix
Shore,
in whatever,
going once,
I think,
going
flamingo
twice,
costume.
finish.
I have to talk about the weather, because Florida weather is weird. I mean, I've always heard in the upper Midwest, weather can change in a dime. You can have all 4 seasons in one day. But seriously, going to Florida in January, I thought, I'd be escaping a little bit of the Wisconsin winter storm. But Florida, your weather is so crazy. So I got there on Thursday. It was like 64. Light jacket or long sleeves. It was pleasant. That night, it was like 54 for a low. It was pleasant. The next day was, warm. It was so freaking muggy. I was in shorts. I kind of wish that I had sandals. My hair was so frizzy, humid. I was trying to get to sleep that night, and I'm very thankful that I was given the advice to not use my summer quilt setup, which at 54 would be fine. But the Florida 54, not fine. I was so happy to have my 20-degree underquilt, except for Friday night, I just kind of moved it off of me. I had 2 Costco quilts as like my top quilts, barely used. But then Saturday was like freaking cold, and it was 61. I mean, I'm shorts, long sleeve in Wisconsin at 61, but Florida 61. I had my down jacket on. I had my buff over my ears. I had neck gaiter. I had my fingerless mittens on. I mean, it was Florida crazy, just crazy. For the raffle, there was this cold swoosh that came in, and I mean, I was like shaking and moving and dancing to the music because I just needed to stay warm. Seriously, Florida, y'all got crazy weather, but if you're coming, pack that 20-degree underquilt. Hey, so I've got a whole bunch of random tips that, things that I did as a first timer that I'm glad I did, and things that I learned that would make it easier as a second timer. So, they have a huge charging station for phones. Awesome. I didn't even bring like my phone bank charger. I wish I would have, because I left my phone like charging, and there were times when I was at vendors and I would have wished I would have, taken a picture with the vendor or recorded video on something, or I just wish I had my phone with me all the time instead of charging. And then I could have like charged the phone bank and always had the phone with me, and yeah, anyway. But the charging station is awesome. I mean, these big pillars that they have for charging. I mean, people are constantly charging their phones, and I've never seen anything like that before, and that was amazing. I happen to have US Cellular, which is popular here in Wisconsin, but probably not where you are, so I can't really help you out with how was my service, because I mostly had it on airplane mode. I didn't really need to be in contact with anyone back home, and I liked being on vacation. The what wasn't great about being on airplane mode is that because Hangcon has, if you want, subscribe for text messages, and that's how they give you the updates. I was on airplane mode all the time, so I wouldn't get the text messages, and they didn't have any sort of like printed schedule anywhere. So what I had done is I had actually printed the schedule as a PDF, saved the PDF to my phone. So I was able to see what the schedule was, and I had already looked at what sessions I wanted to go to. So I wasn't last minute trying to, oh, this is going on. I was able to plan and say, I've got this much time at vendors because I've got the knots class coming up. Oh, another thing I did was I just had my Aldi bag that I put with everything I kind of needed for the day. So I, put my plates and silverware for breakfast. I put the tea packets, the extra mug, the sugar, anything that I wanted for breakfast. And I left that bag just on the table all day. Like, people aren't like lifting the bags or anything. So I had that, and if I wanted to make lunch there, I could, or I could have purchased the lunch they had for sale. I had snacks in there, and so I just kind of always had access to that bag all day. I liked that it helped me kind of plan, and especially if I was out in the primitive camping, I wouldn't have had to do so much out and back. That worked for me. May not work for you, but I was glad I packed that extra bag. Oh, another thing that worked out well is I was fortunate enough to have someone pick me up at the airport, and I placed a Walmart order near her Walmart, and Alex was able to pick it up and bring it to me. So I was able to have my fuel, I was able to have my pop, but that left me without access to a cooler, which didn't really turn out to be such a big deal because I was able to use Alex's cooler, and then my friend that was coming in, I could use his. However, if you really didn't have any other friends and you were relying on yourself, Walmart has like a styrofoam cooler that, could be picked up for like $5 or $6. They sell ice there at Hangcon. I forget if it was like $3 or $4 a bag, but they have it for sale. So that was also kind of awesome to know. I'd probably use that in future trips. So maybe some of those hints, tips, tricks will work for you on your first Hangcon.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.